Joining us, former National Security Advisor to Donald Trump, Robert O'Brien. Robert, great to see you. Your thoughts about the public clashes so far and how this staff might be different from the last one.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Brian. Look, I kind of look at this with an amused grin because, look, the person who's going to make the final decision on all these issues is Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States. And what President Trump will do is he'll bring all these voices into the Oval Office. And when I was National Security Advisor, and I'm convinced Mike Waltz will do the same thing, if there was a divergence in the cabinet, you brought one person to argue one side and one person to argue the other. President Trump would listen to it. He'd ask really insightful questions, use the clash of these ideas to come up with the best solution, and then he'd make a decision. And once he made that decision, we then went out and made sure it was implemented. So, look, I think it's a healthy debate. These guys all like President Trump. They all support America first. And you're going to get great results out of this debate. Yeah,
it seems the difference is, if I read McMaster's book, and many people say it's 100% accurate, is that, Kelly, Mattis, and Tillerson didn't really like the president. And they were kind of undermining him, doing their own thing. Not saying they're not great at what they did, but they weren't fully understanding who got elected.
Yeah, they weren't understanding, Brian, who got elected, but they also didn't agree with President Trump's policies. And President Trump is all about America first and peace or strength. And taking care of Americans. I mean, I look at this trip that Biden just took to Angola, and he gave $600 million to a very rich African country where the leaders are Marxists and they're all billionaires, and he gave $600 million of American taxpayer money to support a Chinese railroad. So we've got teachers in Tennessee taking second jobs at night working in an Amazon fulfillment house to pay their bills, and their tax dollars are being sent to Angola. And President Trump is not going to do that. That was his view. He wasn't a globalist. He was an American first guy. And he's now got a whole cabinet of people who believe the same way.
Robert, you got into government, and we had the whole 9/11 mindset. Look out for the next terror attack around the block. We did a really good job on that. It's underappreciated. We got away from that mindset over the last 4 years. Yeah. And do you think that played into what we witnessed in New Orleans? And what we're worried about now, and what the FBI director is saying, he sees nothing but flashing red lights domestically in our country?
Yeah, so Brian, you're 100% right. When President Trump took office the first time, keep in mind, we were about to have a war in North Korea, but ISIS was running wild all over the Middle East. They controlled a caliphate the size of the United Kingdom that spread across Iraq and Syria. And the first thing President Trump said is, we're going to take care of the caliphate. And we finally took the caliphate down. But Baghdadi, their leader, got away, and we hunted him down, we tracked him down, and then we sent our great special operators and our Belgian Malinois dog, Conan, and we got Baghdadi, and we took ISIS down. Now it's like, deja vu all over again. We're taking office again, and ISIS is on the rise. We had a major terrorist attack in America. And look, this guy was radicalized, homegrown. But how many of these terrorists came over the border, Brian? How many gotaways include ISIS and Hezbollah and Al-Qaeda members that are swimming in this big American stream right now that are going to commit attacks in the future? So I'm looking forward to Kash Patel and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and our great law enforcement, John Radcliffe of the CIA, figuring out who these people are, rounding them up, putting them in jail and deporting them, and making America safe again.
Yeah, if you're going to cut a tape that talks about, I was going to kill my family, but instead I want to do a mass killing in New Orleans, hopefully there'll be a way for us to track and stop that when Donald Trump takes over. Robert O'Brien, thanks so much. Always appreciate it.
Brian, the FBI was spending time going after Catholics going to Latin Mass and parents talking to giving feedback at the PTA meetings and J6 protesters. And then they took their eye off the ball on crime, but on terrorism, they need to get back to tracking down these terrorists and arresting them and taking them out of circulation right away. That's what President Trump's going to bring in just two short weeks.
I hear you. And if you talk to the FBI agents who are actually in the field, they just want the ability to go back and do what they were trained to do once again. And that's going to happen. Robert O'Brien, always great. Thank you, sir.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.